Conflict is the core of our deep dive today. He basically asks, is the point to intellectualize or to become happy?
It's this duality, isn't it, between pure brain power trying to think your way to being okay and actually achieving some kind of lasting peace.
And what makes this so interesting, I think, is who Saren was.
Definitely. He was 71, a well-known trained transactional analyst, TA expert.
For anyone maybe not familiar, transactional analysis TA, it's a specific kind of psychology, very structured. It maps out communication, psychological states. It's quite intellectual.
Super intellectual, focused on, internal structures, parent, adult, child states, that kind of thing.
So the punchline here is you've got this expert in structure and analysis who ends up questioning if structure and analysis are, well,
enough on their own. Which brings us to our mission for you listening. We want to explore why, according to Saren, just relying on your intellect, on pure mental effort, even the kind he mastered, often leaves what he called unfinished business.
Yeah, that phrase really sticks. Unfinished business.
Okay, so let's unpack that opening idea. The source talks about people trying to deal with their psychological stuff, setting out to work it out to help you out thoroughly.
Thoroughly, that's the key word, isn't it?
It is, because right away, Saren casts doubt on whether the usual methods, self-help, just thinking really hard, can actually achieve that thoroughness.
Yeah, he doesn't pull any punches. He looks at a few major approaches and finds them wanting.
Like what?
Well, he sort of dismisses purely intellectual philosophy. He mentions J. Krishnamurti, saying he finally did only blink up.
Blink up? What does that mean exactly?
I think he means you get these flashes of insight, right? These aha moments where you think you got it intellectually. But it doesn't last. It's not real transformation.
Ah, okay. So it's knowing the answer versus being the answer? The light bulb blinks, but the room stays dark.
Exactly. The knowledge is there, maybe, but the actual problem hasn't shifted deep down.
And it's not just philosophy, he critiques.
No, he goes after behavioral modification, too. He says, no correction center could shape an admirable personality.
Oof. That's pretty direct.
It is. It's aimed right at approaches that just focus on changing behavior, the outward stuff, without getting to the root cause.
It's like just forcing yourself to act differently through willpower.
Right, or external discipline. Siren's point seems to be if you do that, the underlying pattern, the psychological why behind it, it's still there, untouched.
And then that's the failure that leaves the unfinished business.
Precisely.
Yeah.
He says the behaviorist approaches fail because the weaknesses hidden still had to hover inside. They didn't go away, they just went into hiding.
Which implies that just trying harder or analyzing more, using those TA tools even, it might not be enough to actually deal with these hidden things. You can map your child's state perfectly, but the ghost is still in the machine.
That seems to be his conclusion. And this leads him to, well, a really crucial pivot in the text.
Okay.
If intellectual effort and behavioral changes aren't enough for thorough resolution, what's missing? Saren states these issues stay unresolved until you meet with a loving hand.
A loving hand. Wow. Okay, that's a different direction entirely.
It really is. It shifts the focus completely from relying on yourself, your own internal effort, your analysis, to needing something external, something compassionate. It's moving from doing to maybe receiving.
Okay, so if analysis alone leaves things unfinished, maybe the issue isn't just the method, but the environment we're operating in. Let's pick it there, because this is where Saren's description of life itself gets really intense.
Yeah, he paints a pretty stark picture. The world isn't gentle, according to him. It's full of witchcraft landmines and crafty designs.
Witchcraft landmines.
That's the phrase he uses. And he says these define the eternal life situations. It's not just about our personal baggage. It's like there's a fundamental challenge built into existence itself.
That's bleak. It certainly makes ideas like just think positive sound a bit naive.
Completely. If you're navigating a field of landmines, thinking happy thoughts probably isn't the primary survival strategy. The stakes feel much higher in his description.
Yeah, higher than a lot of self-help acknowledges.
And he adds another layer, the constant scrutiny we're under. He calls life a kaleidoscope-like life situation, constantly shifting, but one that unfolds under closely watched surveillance.
Surveillance. Like external judgment.
Seems like it. And internal, too, maybe. He says the individual's faults are examined not without a zoomed lens.
That zoomed lens, that hits home, doesn't it? Especially today. Feels like we're always watching ourselves and being watched, often critically.
Right. And if every mistake gets magnified like that, it just adds more weight to those hidden unresolved issues we were talking about. Makes them harder to bear.
It sounds like a vicious cycle. You're under scrutiny, which highlights the unresolved stuff, which makes you feel worse.
And despite all this awareness, all the scrutiny, Saren notes that fundamentally, mankind hasn't really changed. Our big questions are still unanswered.
even though we have, like, millennia of wisdom to draw on.
Exactly. He points out all the resources we do have.
Okay.
The proverbs, the cultural templates, the literary clicks, the wise sayings still available. All the answers seem to be out there.
So if the wisdom exists, why are we still stuck? Why does he say, hardly one dares to strike a daring life path?
Well, I think his point is that just reading a proverb or having an intellectual understanding, it's just not potent enough. The change needed to navigate those eternal life situations is huge. It requires more than incremental adjustments.
It needs a leap, not just a step.
Precisely. And he gives us this amazing metaphor for the scale of that leap. He asks, essentially, where is the support needed for it? He says, where is the spiritual pole wall that could help make in life real high jump?
Spiritual pole vault. I love that.
You do. It captures it perfectly. You're not just trying to step over a small hurdle. You need to make a real high jump over these massive inherent life challenges. And for that, you need something extra. A tool, support, something maybe outside yourself.
The pole vault isn't part of the runner. It's something they use. So this assistance, this pole